Awesome. This is, I think, the final video for this course. This is just going to be covering some frequently asked questions that you may have about your account, where to find things, answers to those problems. So within the data feed, how can I change the tag of my data? Well, if you click on it, it opens up this data info panel, and you can update the tag to whatever it is that you want at any time. That is a very easy way of doing it. You can also create a new tag. Now, what happens, for example, if I have got too many tags and I want to clean out my tags? Well, if I come to settings, your tags, here's a list of all the tags that I have. I can then decide if I want to delete a tag, and then obviously that will be removed. But obviously, if I've deleted a tag that some of my data is using, then it won't have a tag. Okay, so test is using essays. Let's show you an example. Settings, your tags. If I remove essays, and there's no confirmation, like once you delete it, it's gone, but you can create a new tag very easily here and add it back in. If I come back to data feed, you can see here it's no longer using a tag, so I can give it a new tag and save that tag, and then it's updated to be using that tag. What is the point in tagging? Well, tagging is very useful if you're building chatbots for multiple clients, and I've got a video that's dedicated on that specifically, on how to build chatbots for multiple different clients, but it's a very easy way of finding the data for your chatbot. There's nothing under sample tags and sample docs. There we go. So if I want to, for example, I've got a chatbot I'm building for a specific client, I can just create a tag here, and then I can select all of these like this. It's just a quicker way of building a chatbot than having to go into here and search for the specific files that I need for my chatbot builds. So that is probably one of the biggest questions I get most common within the data feed for ChatIQ. Uploading data. How much data can I upload? Well, it really depends on the plan that you're on. I've got 5 million on this account that I can upload, 5 million words. Your words counts will not refresh at the end of every month. If you want to free up word counts, and there's an error on this account, but it won't be on yours, you can delete data from your account. You can upload 10 PDFs at once, but please do not be uploading 10 PDFs with 100 pages each, because it will take forever to do. If you want to upload large PDF documents that are over 50 pages, just do one at a time. I will limit this at some point, but just don't be doing silly things like that, because you're just going to slow things down. It's not worth sitting around waiting to do 10 PDFs at once, because it's possible that the app will time out. You guys know that I am not a complete developer, so I'm working on improving all of these things, but I'm shifting so many updates as quickly as possible that will probably be included in the next update. So you can upload 10 PDFs at once. You can upload duplicates if you want to. I really wouldn't. If I were you, there's no real point. You can manage and organize that data in any way that you want. You can remove that data. You can delete that data. Once I've uploaded multiple PDFs, it will give me a summary of all those PDFs in a list. I seem to remember you can actually delete those before you actually upload them. So if you go over your plan limit, you'll find that actually maybe you won't be able to upload all of those PDFs. So you can select which ones to delete, and then it will delete that PDF, and then you can finish the build. URL scraping. Chances are you'll run into an issue with URL scraping at a certain point. I am working on improving this as much as possible, but a lot of this comes down to websites that you're scraping, and a lot of it's out of the control of ChatIQ. So, for example, you cannot scrape government websites. Okay, they have something on their website that stops you from scraping their website. You also cannot scrape Google, for example. They have stuff that stops you from scraping Google. So some websites that you want to scrape will not allow you to scrape the website. You may also find that if you put in the website that you're trying to scrape, it won't extract every single link. So if I try and fetch all links from ChatIQ, it's not going to scrape every single page. For example, it won't scrape app.chatIQ.ai/dashboard. It won't come onto this link and scrape all of the text that you can see here. The reason for that is I have limited who can visit these pages based off whether you've got an account or not. So depending on whether there's any errors on those URLs or whether there's any permission issues on those pages, you will not be able to scrape every single URL. So if there's text on some pages that you can't scrape, the best thing that you can do is come to text and just upload the data as just plain text. So give it a name and then paste the text and obviously add it to the tag. That's how that works. I think I want to add, I did have in the past the ability to scrape a YouTube video for its transcript, which I can add back in if none of you guys are interested in that. And again, if there's any ideas that I give you from any of these videos, let me know in the community and we can always add those in. So that's FAQs about uploading data. chatbots, the language on the chatbot, or any adjustments or changes that you want to make to your chatbot are very easy to do. Now, the first thing is, if you find that you've uploaded data to your chatbot, you see here it's got 3, for example. If you find, I click on here, and click on, let's say I want to add this one. If you find that it's not actually referencing this new bit of information, the best thing to do is literally just come back to the data feed and rebuild it. Sometimes it will take a long time for it to update, so it's quite urgent. Just go ahead and rebuild the chatbot. Now, remember, if you rebuild a chatbot, so how can I explain this? Let's say, for example, this chatbot has been built and I've got it embedded in my website. Okay, let's say it's this one here. Once it's embedded in my website, this will remain embedded, even if I delete it from here, okay? That's just because you've got code in your website, you've got our embed code. So if I delete this chatbot, there will still be the bubble in here, but you'll notice it no longer has the branding for your website. And when you talk to it, it will have no idea what your business is. It won't have a clue because it will just be a generic, bland template of a chatbot. Okay, so if you delete a chatbot within your account, make sure that you remove it from your website first, or remove it from your website as soon as you've done so. And then if you rebuild the chatbot, obviously add the new one back into your website. That is incredibly important. Just don't forget that. Okay, so I want to change the prompt, or I want to change the language my chatbot's using, or I want to change anything about my chatbot. If you come to your chatbots, you've got 2 ways of doing this. You can either click chatbot settings down here, and it will take you directly to the chatbot you're working on, or just click on settings and plans, chatbots, and select your chatbot. For example, I'm working on ChatIQ widget 3. If I click chatbot settings, it's pre-selected widget 3 for me. Now, there's an error here because I don't have a prompt linked to this chatbot. So I'm going to want to go ahead and do that. So add a prompt here. And you can select any prompt from the list of prompts you've got in your prompt library. All of these prompts are in my prompt library, so I can go ahead and select one of these and use these in my chatbot builds. I can then change my intro message, so hello world, for example, and I can change the colors of my bubble. So let's say I change the bubble to like a red color, and make sure you click select the AI text, which is make it dark, and I'm going to change the language to Dutch. Actually, we're going to change it to German. No, I'm not going to change it to French. I'm not sure you why. Save changes. So you'll notice here in our link, the language is now in French. If I come back to chatbots, I click on this widget 3, it's updated the intro message to hello world, and it's updated the color to red. The text is now also updated to black. So that's basically instant. However, if I go to chats now, because I've changed the language, what you'll notice is something quite interesting. Let's go to test. If I say hello to the chatbot in English, it will still respond in English. At least it should do. Okay, so it's responded in English. But the reason for that is just because of how OpenAI has built their chatbots. Obviously, if I respond in French, it's going to respond in French. Okay. Now, most chatbots, without you changing the language, will respond in the language that you've asked it. Okay, so if I speak to an English chatbot in French, it will respond in French. Every now and again, it will forget to respond in French, so you'll want to change the language of your chatbot. I don't speak French, so I can't give you a full example here, but you get the idea. If I had this chatbot set to English and I said bonjour, it might respond with it in French and then continue with English. So make sure your language is set in your settings. Cool, I think that's everything with settings. We've covered everything to do with that. What if you're having any issues within your chatbot workspace? If your chatbot workspace is being slow and your responses aren't loading, just go through each of your chats and delete a chat thread. Because if I have a chat thread which has got hundreds of messages in it, it's going to take a while for all of that to load. So just clean all of that up. I would say, every month just delete some chat threads and move over to some new ones. And I think that's everything for this FAQ. Again, any other questions that you guys have, ask in the community. If there's any other course content that you want, ask in the community and I can go ahead and film that. But hopefully this has all been very useful to you. Hopefully I've covered everything. Just the last thing about plan usage and limits. You can see here I've used 193 messages in total. So my entire account has 50,000 messages. I'm obviously nowhere near using all of those messages, but that is across all of these chatbots. So if I've got 5 chatbots and 5 clients, once my So once my total account hits 50,000 messages, then I've hit my plan limit. Okay, so it's not 50,000 messages per chatbot. Cool, that's everything.